One aspect of modern GIS we've promoted and talked about is this concept of cloud infrastructure, cloud architecture, and also data as services. And so one kind of topic and lesson comes to mind for me that brings both of these topics to life is how is data stored up in ArcGIS Online, and what are some of the things to consider or think about when you go to publish information and store information and data. It's a much different concept to think about rather than just feature storage or data storage in a file geodatabase. So let's jump to ArcGIS Pro, and we're going to do a quick little demonstration and discovery on the different types of use cases and what it means when you structure your data a little bit differently. So I'm here inside of ArcGIS Pro, and first and foremost, the main question that you need to ask for before you're publishing data or you're building any kind of map is, what is the point of my map? What am I trying to do with it? What is the scale that I need to present information for? Is it for just a visualization of the map, of the data in this map? Or is it going to be reliant on the attributes and the data and the precision of the information that's stored here? For this example, all I wanted to do is create a simple map of school districts in New York State. And so if I publish this data set up to ArcGIS Online, it's really interesting. I'm going to pull up a Excel document that gives us the sizes of two different files. So publishing this file directly up to ArcGIS Online, we don't have to count the 7 million here, but this is almost 8 megabits in storage size. So this is 8 megabits in size to publish up the school districts for all of New York State. I also have a similar layer which has the same visualization that's under 2 megabits in size. So what is the difference with both of these layers, and when would I want to use the different ones? So if I come back to ArcGIS Pro, I'm going to toggle off my school districts layer that I downloaded from New York State, and I'm going to turn on the layer that it's simplified. So the point here is both of these layers look almost the exact same. Obviously, the colors are a little bit different, but the layers visually look the same at this scale. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. Let's say the point of my map was to show details at a very, in an area with very small scale or very large scale. So in this case, we've wanted to zoom into Syracuse and look at these overlapping school districts. And if I turn on my simplified layer, you can see this is probably not the best visualization to use in this use case because I've simplified the geometry so that it won't eat up as much storage space and that the file won't be as large. If I toggle that back on again, the 300, and turn off the other, can see a couple of these spots like in North Syracuse and Mattydale where I really lose the actual detail in these areas that define those districts. But if I zoom out a little bit to even a level where I could compare districts in almost regionally, if I turn on my one that's pretty low precision, the data sets look almost the exact same. So it goes back to that initial question. What is the use case for your data? What level of precision do you need? What level of scale do you need for the data set you're going to publish? And so I took both of these data sets and I published them up to ArcGIS Online. And this was the results that we got. Again, almost 8 megabits in size for the one feature of the school districts and one that's under 2 megabits in size for the more simplified features. The way to do this for anyone unfamiliar is in the Geoprocessing Tools. If I come to Analysis and Tools and a tool that's simply called Simplify, I can simplify a line, 3D line, or a polygon. If I select here, and then I have a couple different methods to go through and simplify or take away some of the complexity of the features in a line, a polygon, or any other kind of vector shape. So, and then the last thing I wanted to point out is the way you can generate that report to see what the size of your features are. So if I come here to My Organization and I select Status, there's a dashboard that tells me how many credits I'm eating up for my storage. If I scroll down, I can click here for my storage. I'm interested in feature storage. And now I have a chart at the bottom if I select my feature store to see all of the item details. And this is showing me every single day how many credits are getting eaten up because of my storage. If I hit item details, here are all of the feature services and the size of those feature services. And if I wanted to download a CSV, I can just select here and download it. So this was just a snapshot from that CSV. The ID of that service, the title of it, and then the size of it. Again, just under 8 megabits and just under 2 megabits. So that's a quick example of a way to understand how you can look at your feature storage and also why it matters to kind of uncover what level of detail you actually need for a service when you're creating a map. What's the point of your map? It gets back to some of the cartographic principles. How are people going to use your application? How are they going to use the map? How are they going to use the data? And if the use case is that you don't need as much detail and precision, you can probably simplify that feature so that you have less storage space and it's taking up, less space physically up in the cloud. And then going to eat up less credits and give you more storage for other items and features. So with that, hopefully helped let you see how you can kind of simplify some of your data and really how it connects to publishing information and data to ArcGIS Online. Thanks.